Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Michael Voss, the Dragon of the Southern Tier, from No Soundbites Allowed, and I'm happy to be here with you. I hope you guys have been checking out some of the latest footage and coverage that we've been doing, especially over the last 24 hours. It has been a lot of news, a lot of breaking news that has been going on. So let me first deal with, very quickly, the Dan Livingston City Councilman, who is now being investigated for ethics violations, possible abuse of power, possible misuse of public funds. It's just really bad and complete total lack of transparency from a gentleman who's supposed to be the champion of transparency. This is something that's really important, and I think it's really important because, and I tell everyone this, look into this. I know right now, Dan Livingston, many of the Democrats are pushing early voting. New York State put that into effect this year. And it's the first year we're having this, where we're going to have 10 days of voting before actual election day. Please, before you do an early vote, make sure you know what's going on. Look at the news. There is an investigation of the city councilman Dan Livingston. There is a reason for that investigation. And even though he is now currently going on to news media and backtracking on his story, trying to rewrite history, the fact is, on October 21st, there is video of the city council meeting. There is video of Dan Livingston himself admitting that he did in fact create the ethics violation, that he did in fact use this student to be able to promote his campaign, and this was disingenuous. This is bad for his constituents, it's bad for the city of Binghamton, and it's having repercussions. Please, do yourself a favor, before you make an early vote, find out, and then you find out that his active investigation proves him to be guilty, as I believe his video does, and then you're going to regret your vote, because it's too late. Don't fall into that early voting trap. Learn about the news. You can check it out on my site, on No Soundbites Allowed on YouTube, and you can see all the evidence that I can present on this, as well as there is more information coming up soon. That being said, I also want to talk about the yesterday at SUNY Broome, there was the DA race, the Broome County DA debate between Michael Korchak, the Libertarian, it was Deborah Gelson, the Democrat, and Paul Battisti, the Republican candidate. It was a very good debate in that a lot of information got out there for the public. People got to see these candidates talk. And I think the winner was Mr. Michael Korchak. Now, there is a slight bias, I believe, and I support his campaign, even though he's a libertarian, because that doesn't matter. Best candidate should win. I think he had the most information, and he conveyed that to all of those who were present and were watching the debate. He seems to have the most knowledge, both locally as well as in getting the job done. And I have to say, second place had to be Deborah Gelson, the Democrat. Again, experience makes a difference. Now, while she's very much into the social justice mantra and was very, very well focused on social justice, on trying to deal with childhood trauma, which I think is commendable, I don't think it's necessarily the job of the district attorney. But that's her point of view, and some people agree with it, and that's fine. There is no doubt she has knowledge and she has experience. I don't think it applies in this case. Most of her experience is dealing with New Jersey law. And there were a couple of times in the debate where she was speaking, and it wasn't clear whether she was talking about New Jersey law or New York State law, because it didn't quite sound right. But that may be my lack of knowledge. I'm not sure. It just didn't come across quite well. And I think she took a big hit in the debate when she didn't realize that in New York State, in Broome County, all of the police services, law enforcement services, have body cams, except for the state police. And in her comments, she was making it seem as if none of them had body cams, which is not correct. It's factually incorrect. And when she was corrected, she didn't back down. She doubled down on her statements. So I think that really took a hit to her credibility in the race. Although, again, she did very well overall in expressing her points of view and her reasoning. The least significant was, in fact, Paul Battisti. the Republican, and I am a conservative Republican, but he was the weakest of the candidates. In listening carefully to what he said, and I did get audio of the entire event, he had the least to say about what he would do. He was very much generalized. He was very much talking about leading by committee in a office that needs to lead by example experience. The DA has to teach younger assistant DAs how to do their job and how to deal with the laws that have been implemented in New York State, like no cash bail, and how that's going to affect prosecutions and protecting victims. And I don't know that a defense attorney who's never done anything but be a defense attorney has the prerequisites for that. Now, that's my opinion about it. Some people obviously felt he did. I'm not among that crowd. But it was a very informative debate, and we should have heard more. And we hope that Mr. Battisti will take the opportunity to be on with us and actually do the interview that we've been asking to do with him since January. But those were some of my quick thoughts. There was a lot being said there. I think it was a very informative debate. I hope people do check it out. I have audio of that up as a podcast only, audio only podcast, and I look forward to seeing what people think about it. Other than that, I look forward to your comments. Please check out my video on Councilman Dan Livingston, the investigation that's going on. Tell me what you think. Write your comments here on YouTube, on Facebook. Let's get to consensus, because I believe every politician, regardless of their party, should be held accountable. That includes Dan Livingston, and that's how we get true transparency. But what are your thoughts? I look forward to hearing it. Thank you.